the Trenton Educational Association, along with financial support from Paramount. Back in the wintertime, there was a boys' summit that was sponsored by the concerned pastors and the Trenton Educational Association, along with the Trenton Board. There was a great outcry about what were we going to do for our middle school ladies. And as a result of that, you are all here today. Give yourselves a round of applause for ladies. At this time, I would like to have the Executive Dean of Mercer County College to please come up and say hello to you, Dr. Diane Campbell.
Good morning, everyone. I am so excited to have you here. And number one reason is that a long time ago, I was a student at Trenton High School. And I was thinking about, well, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And today, I want you to begin to think seriously about what you're going to be doing with the rest of your life. We are so happy to host you on the West Windsor campus of Mercer County Community College. And what you're going to find today is not only is it a beautiful, beautiful place, but also this is where life is going to begin for many of you who make a plan to do something more than what you ever dreamed of. When I was a student at Mercer County Community, at Trenton High School, I would have never thought that there would come a day when someone would call me Dr. Campbell. And I want these great things to happen for you too. So today, while you're here, not only enjoy the fun things that we have for you, we also want you to think hard and start making your plan about how life is going to be great and positive. And to come back and take some classes and be a student at some other time a little bit later. It doesn't have to be long. You only have to be 16 to take courses at Mercer County Community College. So thank you for being here, and we're looking forward to an enjoyable, great day today.
I'd also like to come and bring brief greetings to President of the Trenton Educational Association, President Naomi Johnson LaFleur.
Good morning, ladies. I have to say, I love the way that you came in this morning. You came in very orderly, you followed directions, so I know that you are here to get some valuable information that will help you as you transition into the wonderful woman that you will become. Thank you for joining us here this morning. And on behalf of all of the teachers in Trenton Public Schools, I welcome you. Thank you.
At this time, I'm going to ask Assemblywoman Elizabeth Moyle to please come forward to bring greetings on behalf of herself and Assemblyman Reed Gusciora.
Hello, everybody. I don't want to keep you from the entertainment. This is Reed Gusciora. We're your representatives in the 15th Legislative District. We're just here to encourage you to have a great time today. You're starting to think about your future, as Dr. Campbell said. And I'm here to tell you, we need young women like you to start thinking about replacing all the women leaders that are up here today. Teachers, school officials, elected officials. All right, we're counting on you to come take our places down the road. We have a great history of women leadership here in Mercer County. The only woman member of the congressional delegation from New Jersey is from where? Mercer County, Bonnie Watson-Coleman. We just elected her last year, and I was proud to take her place in the Assembly when she moved up to Congress. Our state senator, Shirley Turner. State senator in the 14th district, if you live anywhere else in Mercer County, Senator Linda Greenstein. We have great women leadership, but we need you guys to start thinking about your futures and how you're going to step up and become the doctors and lawyers and teachers and leaders that we need in the future, because women's voices matter and we're counting on you. So thank you all for coming today and have a great day.
Good morning, ladies. My sister always reminds me that on the first day, God created man, but then he thought about it and said, I can do better. And the next day, he found women. You all are the leaders of tomorrow. You're going to take over when we move on. This is a great opportunity for you to learn and grow and be productive members of the community. So we wish you all the luck. Have a healthy and prosperous day. God bless. Thank you.
I'd like to now introduce to you our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Francisco Duran.
Good morning. Oh, I want to hear something better than that. Good morning. All right, that sounds like you're excited to be here. We're very excited to have you here today, and we hope that you have an amazing day. We have a lot of great workshops, a lot of exciting experiences for you today, and I hope that by the end of the day, when you go back to your schools, you're going to take something you've learned back and show the boys who had the Boys Summit that you rock and that you are going to do better than them. So how many of you want to do better than the Boys Summit last time? All right. I know some of you were talking, and actually a few of you had mentioned to me when I went to one of your schools, how come we didn't get a day with, well, now is your day, and you actually have, don't tell the boys, but you have a few other exciting activities that they didn't get to have. So, don't tell them, be our secret. But again, welcome today, and I hope again that you have an amazing, amazing day.
Mayor Eric Jackson was here to greet you. He was called back into the city for a pressing matter, but he will return to bring you greetings before the day is over. Now we want to get right to the main course. We've gotten finished with all the commercials. If you have a program, you will see in your program that our keynote speaker is Dr. Nicole Myers. This is an outstanding woman who is going to share with you her experiences in life. She's going to share with you mountain highs and valley lows and all the challenges that she had to overcome. When you look at her educational background, she has a master's degree from John Jay College. She has a JD from Queens CUNY. She has a PhD in legal studies. As we like to say, she has so many degrees, she's a thermometer. So I'd like to introduce to some and to bring to others the one, the only, Dr. Nicole Myers. Go ahead.
Good morning, ladies. How are you? Bear with me, I don't like the mic, and I don't like standing this far away from you. I'd rather have a conversation. So today we're going to have a conversation about a love story. I turned 21 and began looking for my Prince Charming. I started thinking about it when I was young, 16, 15. I knew what kind of dress I was going to wear in my life. I knew what he was supposed to look like. I knew how many kids I was going to have. How many of us, forget about the adults in the room, secretly think about it, raise your right hand, Prince Charming. Come on now, be honest, there's no adults in the room. You know who Prince Charming is. Okay. How many of us have ever heard of the term domestic violence? Domestic violence can be physical, can be emotional, can be spiritual. We were married for 17 years. For 15 of those years, I was beat. It went from once a month, to twice a month, to every day, to sometimes twice a day. When I finally decided to leave this abusive marriage, I knew that I would only do it one way, and that probably would be the loss of my life. The day I asked for a divorce, he beat me until my heart stopped. When I woke up 45 days later, I could not walk, I could not talk, I could not see, I could not hear. I left that marriage with my entire left side being shattered. I am permanently deaf in my left ear. I am permanently blind in my left eye. There's a plate in my head behind my left ear that holds my skull together. There are 2 discs in my spine that are fused together so that I can stand without using a cane. There are 3 plates in my left leg and a pin in my left ankle. Somebody say, wait for your king. Because I settled for Prince Charming. But I was very easy prey to him because I did not love myself. I didn't like the way I looked. I was 310 pounds. I'm 5'4". It's a little chunky. Just a little bit. Say a little chunky. We don't use the F word. Say a little chunky. There you go. Did not like the way I looked. Did not like the way my own voice sounded. See, when you think of domestic violence, you think of a woman that may be unemployed, or homeless, or on welfare, has a lot of kids, not intelligent. Like she said, I have a master's from John Jay. I graduated summa cum laude. Everybody knows what that means? Summa cum laude means honor roll, things list, from law school. I went back and got a PhD in legal studies. I realized that being an attorney didn't make me happy, and I went back to medical school. Graduated from NYU with a degree in holistic health. But still was not smart enough to know that Prince Charming was not my king. Say, wait for your king. Never settle for Prince Charming. And love yourself. See, the most important part about falling into the trap of Prince Charming was if I loved myself enough, I would have known that he wasn't loving me right. If I loved myself enough to know that hitting me wasn't the answer to anger, he would have never been able to hit me twice. Somebody say she has blue hair. She has blue hair. Because I'm free to be me. Say free to be me. Free to be me. Love myself. Love myself. Good. First lesson. Wait for your king. Wait for your king. Prince Charming is not good enough. Why is Prince Charming not good enough? Because I'm better than a prince. domestic violence can begin via text. If someone texts you, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to beat you up when I see you, you better not be with that girl I don't like. I told you not to go play with her. I told you not to hang out with her. Domestic violence. Domestic violence can be a message on Facebook, a post on Twitter. Domestic violence just doesn't have to be a conversation face-to-face or an argument. Domestic violence is not just physical. Domestic violence is emotional. It can come from that guy that constantly tells you, you're ugly. You're only going to be my girlfriend because nobody else wants you. Domestic violence begins if someone says to you, you are my girlfriend, you have no other choice. We always have a choice. We are our own person. Why? Because we are queens in training. Say queens in training. And I'm waiting for my king. You sure you're waiting? Yes. You don't sound like you're waiting. I'm still a little uneasy about that. You waiting for your king? Okay. I think that you possibly could be waiting. Because you are queens in training. If we what? What's on your t-shirt? We are free to be ourselves. We're not going to allow a Prince Charming in our life to tell us who we can be, or what we can wear, or where we can go. We're not going to allow someone to text us or leave fearful posts on our Facebook or bully us into doing something that we really don't want to do, or wear something that we really don't want to wear, or choose our friends for us. I never told a soul that my husband was beating me. I was too ashamed. Who wants to tell someone else that their husband hates them so much that they're beating on them? It's not something we really tell. But there was that one person. There's always that one person in our lives that we trust with every single thing. You can't be afraid not to talk. It's not your fault. You didn't ask for it. It's not something you did. It's not that you didn't do what he asked. We tend to think that we're the insecure ones, and that's why we're being treated that way. It's actually the opposite. The abuser is the insecure one, and that's why they need control over us. That's why we're not going to give Prince Charming the time of day. We are going to wait for our king. Right? Let me hear you again. Let me see if you're ready. Wait for your king. Say it again. Wait for our king. Why? Because we are queens in training. Girl. Ladies, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Oh, here we go. Queens, let's give our speaker another round of applause. No question. Okay. What's your question there? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Who did you tell that you were getting abused by your husband?
I told my supervisor at work. He had become my mentor through law school, and after he retired me on my first legal job. And I trusted him.
I knew that he wasn't going to judge me, and so I told him. And he was the first person that said to me, "You don't deserve this. You can get out."
What's your question here?
And say it loud to me, I remember I was back in 1 year, okay?
Why did he beat you?
It's a good question, and I'm never going to know the true answer to that. I can say and maybe guess that he was the one that was insecure. But he would say things like, "You're too pretty. You think you're too smart." So he was insecure about who I was. And that's why he beat me. And that's why we're going to love ourselves more than waiting for Prince Charming to love us and wait for our king.
What's your question here?
That's the best question of all. I didn't get out of the relationship earlier because I loved him. He was my husband and we had 4 kids. And I honestly loved him more than I loved myself because I didn't love myself that much. But I know better.
Over here, a little bit. Queen. Do you love yourself now?
No, he was very cautious not to hit me in front of our children. He'd wait till they go to school or send them to the park to play. But children know more than we think they know. They hear everything we don't want them to hear, yes? So yes, my children had an idea.
This side and I'll come back. I'll be back. Hold on, we want everybody to get each section to get a chance. Young lady. You talked about love. How do we know when we're in love? And that is good love.
So, you'll know when you have that good love. Let's just say, give my disclosure, I'm not an expert on love. Don't go home and say, "Mama, Dr. Nicole said." Don't do that. But I think that you know love, you know when you get that funny butterfly feeling in your belly, and everything just looks good and tastes better, and it makes you want to smile all the time. That's good love. Say again? Well, afterwards, it took about 6 months for me to come out of the hospital and go through rehab. So I did not see my children for about 8 months. So actually, my mother explained a lot to them. But then when I came out of rehab, we sat down and I explained it just like I explained it to you. Could have said better. And I'm telling you what, if I would have heard, I may have made a different decision. And that was that I was a queen in training, and I should wait for my king and not Prince Charming. He went to jail for 5 years. Then he did get out.
12, and 16.
Does everybody here know who Bobby Brown is? Yeah. Makeup artist, not the singer. No. Everybody knows who Revlon is, right? I can put on makeup better than them. So I was a genius at covering bruises and things. So no, my kids can always tell by the way I look. Nobody could. My two youngest children still have hesitation. It was supervised for many years, and now that they're older, they can go on their own. Yes, baby. Say again? 15 years. Yes. Hey, speak up, baby. What advice would I give someone that's going through domestic violence right now? Love yourself more than him. It's easy to say please, but we don't leave until we're ready. And for many reasons. We still love the person that we're with, or we're scared to leave. But if you love yourself more than you love that person, every day you'll get a little stronger. And without someone having to tell you to leave, you'll know that you deserve better. During my 15 years of abuse, did I ever think about running away and never coming back? No. I wasn't ready to go. I thought it would honestly get better. I thought if I just loved him a little bit better, he would love me back. That's not how it works. We have to love ourselves. One more question. What year didn't you do? Okay, so say it loud, please. How do you know the difference between a king and a Prince Charming? Prince Charming is still learning. Prince Charming is winging it. Prince Charming is saying, we can do, we can get, we can make. Your king already has. He's saying, come on, let me give you.
Ladies, repeat after me. Say, Dr. Miles, you are the best. Thank you for sharing. Wait a minute, we're not finished. Say, thank you for sharing your truth. Our hope is that we will not repeat your story, but we will truly find our King. But first, love ourselves. Traveling mercies, you got to get on the plane. Let's give her a round of applause. Lady, we're going to make an adjustment in our schedule, school leaders. We are going to start with workshop number 2. But before we leave for the workshops, there's some housekeeping that we need to do. First of all, for those students that you have supervision over, if anyone has a medical emergency, we have the nurse who is right here, Barbara Palmer in orange. If you have students that need to take their medication at a certain time, please come back here to Dr. Palmer. She's going to be here in the gym, Barbara Palmer. And if anyone has to have your blood tested, because of diabetes, again, please come here. We don't want anyone to get sick. We also have had a change in some of the presenters for Rivera School. You're going to, I'm sorry, not Rivera, I'll come back to that before we leave. I want to bring someone else up to you so that you can indeed see a king and understand what a king means. He's not going to be long. He'll give you a message in 5 minutes or less, maybe 3. Some of you know him. He's called Freedom. Darren Freedom Green, come on down.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, now I know you're in the building. I want you to do 2 things today. I want you to deal with birth, and I want you to deal with death. And I want you to give birth to your expectations. I want you to ask yourself, what do you expect of yourself? What is your expectation for you? See, I don't want you just to keep moving through time. Some of you are sitting here now like, what's next? I want you to ask yourself, what is my expectation of myself? What is the idea that I have in mind for myself and my life? Because you can have the greatest teachers. You can have the greatest resources. You can have the greatest parents. But if you don't have the greatest idea about the best person in the world, which is you, nothing won't happen. You have to have outstanding expectations of yourself. You have to have a belief system inside of you that you're the best thing that was ever created on the planet. And you have to begin to live that out. That's what I want you to do today when you're going through these workshops. I want you to give birth to your expectations. What am I going to expect of myself? I want you to go into these classrooms and these workshops and pay attention. Don't talk to each other. Don't gossip. Don't play around. Use today while you're on this campus as an opportunity for you to begin to build the best you. Because that's all that matters. The sideline conversations, the gossip, the playing around, the Facebook, all that stuff takes you away from focusing on the greatest thing in the universe, which is you. And then I want you to give death. Give death to your fears. The beautiful queen that spoke about domestic violence, part of why she didn't leave was because of that fear. You got to get past fear. Some of you didn't raise your hand and ask questions until a few people started asking questions because you had that fear inside. But if you walk through life always fearful of what other people think, of what they're going to say, or what they're going to do, you're going to always walk through life shortchanging yourself. It does not matter if you're the president of the United States or if you're a person working in the streets. Somebody will always have something to say about you. So get past the perception or worrying about what others say. You are the greatest thing on the planet. You are amazing young queens. And I want you to focus your mind, your body, and your soul on being the excellence you were birthed to be. We don't do mediocre. We do amazing. Say it with me. I'm amazing. Say it again. I'm amazing. Say, I'm amazing. Now, I want you to go through these workshops, and I want you to know that everybody on this college campus is watching you. They're watching you and saying all the negative things the paper said about Trenton. I want you to show them what Trenton really is. I want you to show them that Trenton has phenomenal young ladies who know how to walk, talk, move, operate, live, and operate like queens. That's right. You don't let nobody tell you you aren't greatest because you are. In any battle you ready to fight, I'm ready to fight halfway with you. If nobody told you today, I'm telling you you're amazing, and I'm telling you I love you. God bless you.
I told you don't take a long to start. Let's give Freedom another round of applause. All right. Now for the workshop, for the leaders from your school, where it has BS 205, that's Business School 205. Where it has LA, that's not from California, that's the Liberal Arts Building. CM is the Communication Management Building. So ladies, as we get ready to transition to go to your workshop, let me share with you for just one moment what my story is. Because when I was in 5th grade, I used to call the police because my stepfather beat my mother so much. And by the time I was a junior in high school, my stepfather murdered my mother and himself. So I made a decision that I was never going to let anybody beat me down. In fact, they needed to watch out, make sure I didn't beat them down. And when I gave birth to my daughters, I told them they were beautiful and they were brilliant. And so I had one daughter who went to Kilmer School, yay Kilmer! And she graduated Trenton Central High School in 3 years. She graduated college in 3 years. She finished medical school by the time she was 21. We used to call her the Black Dookie Hauser. And today, she serves as an emergency pediatric physician at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Now, I always thought my youngest daughter was brilliant. She asked me the hard questions from the time she came out the womb. But I then discovered later in life that my oldest daughter was just as brilliant, totally beautiful. She graduated from Trenton Central High School in 3 years. She enjoyed Spelman College, so she took the full 4-year plan there. She had a good time at Spelman. But then she was recruited into a PhD program. And she graduated with a PhD in philosophy at the age of 24 years old. She created the Collegium for Black Women Philosophers, and she's still running strong. And so I stand here today on my mother's shoulders to beg you, do not let anyone beat you down. I stand here on sacred ground to tell each and every one of you that you are beautiful and you are brilliant. And the world is your oyster. So go ahead and have as many pearls as you want. I want you to know that if my daughters could indeed come through the Trenton Public Schools, could graduate and become doctors, you can be whatever your heart desires. So don't play yourself short. And again, repeat after me. Say, I am brilliant. I am beautiful. Truly I rock, and I'm going to keep rocking until I graduate. All right, well, let's get ready. Okay. So again, to school leaders, we're going to ask you to begin to move your students